So also some things that you can get with new construction is blinds, garage door openers,
Yes.
appliances, washer, dryer, fridges. And we're saying you can negotiate that sometimes.
Yeah.
So in my neighborhood, there's a house that I call the Big Daddy. And
Megan really wanted.
I really wanted the Big Daddy house because we have 4 kids and it was 2 stories. It made sense. I was just like, that's the house that I want. And I'd sold it to a friend of mine in that same exact neighborhood. And I was like, I want this house.
Welcome to the Homeowner Hookup.
The show where we break down everything you need to know about real estate.
Straightforward, practical, and always up to date.
We're your hosts, Megan Huey
and Sydney Ragusa.
Let's dive in. Hey, Sid.
Hi, Meg.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going good. How are you doing?
Good, good. All right. So today we are talking about buyer affordability.
Ooh, okay. We love that. Definitely a hot topic right now.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. What is the advice that you would give to first-time home buyers?
Ooh, don't just budget for your down payment. There are so many more expenses that you have when purchasing a home that I don't think people really understand. Because you can get a pre-approval letter, and if it's FHA, you put 3.5% down, and you have that 3.5%, and you're like, okay, I'm good to go start looking at homes. But they don't take into account the appraisal costs, the inspection cost, the cost of closing costs.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like closing costs is not a very well-known thing amongst home buyers, and I recently had to have this conversation with one of our buyers about having more money. You're going to need at least another, I would say anywhere from 2 to 4% just for closing costs.
Yeah. So I read a statistic that right now nationally, first-time home buyers are putting down 9% of the purchase price on average. Then closing costs 2 to 5% of the purchase price on top of that. It's actually costing more for people to get into homes than it has in decades.
Right.
I think it said since the early 90s, I believe.
Right. And I would, say that people are putting more money down, 9% versus generally of 3.5% FHA loan. I would say probably a little bit of that money is going towards interest rate buy downs, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I know our preferred lenders could probably help us dive into this a little bit deeper.
For sure.
Let's kind of go over what it takes to get into a home, because I think people, there's some misconceptions or maybe just confusion when it comes to your down payment, your binder deposit, your closing costs, inspections, appraisal. I mean, we can go over the whole 9, really.
Absolutely.
But just breaking it down to first-time home buyers and even people just who haven't bought a home in a while, I think it's easy to forget and then just be like, oh my gosh, I did not even realize.
Well, things have changed so much. Even within the last 5 years, things have changed. I mean, I've been in real estate going on 10 years, and I mean, from the start, 2016 when I started to now, it's a different industry.
Yeah.
It's so ever changing all the time. But so I mean, first things first, binder deposit.
Yeah.
Earnest money deposit.
Yes.
So
yeah, you'll hear that used interchangeably.
Yes. In Florida, a lot of people use binder deposit. That's generally what we call it, as a binder deposit. It's an earnest money deposit. It's your good faith money deposit that you put down on a home when you are purchasing to say, I am serious about purchasing this home. And when you put your binder deposit down, I'm sorry, I'm tripping on my words a lot today. But when you put your binder deposit down, that is your good faith money deposit. That's saying, I'm serious about purchasing the home. I'm going to put between, on average, there's no set amount that you have to put down for a binder deposit unless you're going with a builder. And we can get into that a little bit more. Builders have their own standard of what you would be putting down for a binder deposit, but there's no set amount. Standard, generally, in our market speaking, we're around 1% of the purchase price.
Yeah, that's what I always say. 1%.
Cash is a little bit higher. I've seen cash go anywhere from even 1%, but on average, I see cash closer to the 5, 10 to 20% in a binder deposit, because you don't have the financing to get through. You have, less contingencies to get through on a cash purchase.
Right. Okay.
Your binder deposit can go completely down towards your down payment. It can go towards your closing costs. It can also be refunded back to you at closing. If you bring more money to the table than needed, you can get your binder deposit back. Or in the case of a VA loan, if you don't have any money down, the seller pays your closing costs, you get a check back at closing.
Right. Yeah. And with builders, we see that more often.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, because, well, we can get into that more. But as far as builders covering your closing costs, that can happen. It's starting to happen a little bit more in our regular market with resale. Moving on to that, let's talk about, so we got the binder deposit down. Now we need to think about, we are under contract. You get an executed contract. You usually have 3 days to put down your binder deposit. That's take your money to the escrow, to title, and they hold it in escrow.
Yes.
And that is your good faith deposit. Then from there, we have our inspection period. So we need to pay for the inspection as well.
And depending on the size of the house, I mean, you're going anywhere from like right now, $425 is about the lowest that I've seen it for a general inspection.
Yeah.
And I mean, we have sold quite a few homes that are in the multi-million-dollar range. I mean, we've definitely seen inspections
in the thousands.
Absolutely.
Easily. So that's something also to keep in mind. I would say for like, let's say a, 3,000 square foot home, maybe even a little smaller. I mean, we're looking at $500 to $600, I think, right?
Yeah.
Depending.
I would say, I mean, like we just had one that closed. Actually, we just had one that closed, and it was right around 3,000 square feet, or just over, 100 square feet over. So, I mean, just a scotch over 3,000 square feet. And I think that one ended up being $725.
Yeah.
And that was new construction. That was everything said and done. It was $725. So, I mean, on, average, you're probably going to sort of between $500 and $700 for the average homeowner.
Absolutely. Okay. So then we have to pay for that. Now,
what can happen during the inspection period? Let's kind of move through this with the binder deposit too. What can happen during the inspection period that would get the buyers to retain the binder deposit back?
Ooh, are we playing a quiz?
We're like a little quiz.
Are we doing quizzes right now? I love
little quiz.
Okay, so actually this is a good one to bring up because the new FAR contract, it states it's as is.
Yes.
Right, on the contract, which a lot of people get freaked out about, especially buyers, because they're like, whoa. I'm not buying it as is. I want to make sure there's an inspection. I want to make sure everything's good with the house. You are not buying it as is. So let's just clear that one up. You do have a due diligence period. You do have an inspection period. So during that inspection period, let's say it's 10 days to get your inspection and to work everything out with the other agent, with the sellers, to say, okay, I'm ready to move forward with this house. Or you go through the inspection and you realize there is a shit ton of things wrong with the house. And you are like, absolutely not. You guys cannot come to an agreement. You're like, get me out of this right now. You have that inspection period time to say, I'm not going to move forward with this. We cannot come to an agreement, or it's just way too much work to be done. And you can get your binder deposit back.
But you cannot retain the cost of the inspection.
Right. The inspection, it's done. It's a done deal.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're during the inspection period. We paid for the inspection. We're moving forward from here.
There is one more thing during the inspection period that you need to do that I think a lot of homeowners don't do. And when I was first in real estate, I did not realize that this needed to be done during the inspection period. So, I mean, even some newer, even experienced agents might not know that you need to shop for homeowners insurance.
Oh, yes.
During the inspection period. When I found that out, and I mean, this was, at the very beginning of my career, but I did not realize, I thought homeowners insurance was during your financing period. I was like, well, if you can't get homeowners insurance, you can't get financing, but it really actually needs to be done during your inspection period.
Yeah. Absolutely. And a lot of times we will send over quotes or send them to our broker.
Immediately as we go under contract.
Yeah. So I use Justin with Brightway a lot. I send him an email. He goes ahead, creates the quotes for different companies. He's a broker. So he tries to find the best rates for you and he sends them on over. And, that gives also the buyer a good idea of okay, how much am I adding on to my monthly payment? That's important.
And we do shop a couple of other insurance companies. We've used Austin with Bold City before. He's been awesome. And I mean, I think Chase with Goosehead, he's been great, but we will have an insurance guy come on here and talk a little guy or gal, come on here and talk a little bit more about insurance with us, because I think that Florida right now, we definitely need to talk a little bit more about insurance, which that'll be coming very, very soon.
And that's something we learned with Market Distillery was everyone thinks Florida's insurance is outrageous, but it's kind of outrageous everywhere. We just don't talk about it. So that's something that needs to be talked about.
Right. And especially I think also in Florida, we're being lumped together. Like we have such a vast variety of markets in our single state. We have the Florida Keys, and then we have the Panhandle, and we have Central Florida, that is nowhere near water. And, when you're talking about places like the west coast of Florida that's gotten hit with hurricanes over the past few years so hard versus East Coast, our insurance is going to look different. Right. And I think people just are like, oh, Florida insurance, but you have to also look at the area that you're in. Your insurance in Tornado Alley in the Midwest is going to be different than your insurance outside of it.
Right. Absolutely. No, I agree. So I can't wait to have an insurance person on here. Same. I think that'll be awesome because it's super, valuable information. All right. So we've gotten it, we've shopped insurance. Now what? Now we're getting to the meat and potatoes here.
The meat and potatoes here. We're probably going to go for appraisal next.
Yeah. Which the bank.
Yeah, your lender will order your appraisal for you. We do not order the appraisal. The seller does not order the appraisal. It is a third party. Your bank will put it out into essentially a database. And from what I understand, the bank puts it out to the database and an appraiser can pick it up. And to appraise the property. And so it's a certain price you would pay your lender for the appraisal to be done.
Yes.
Now, if there are a couple of different ways, I've had lenders before where they cover the cost up front and you paid in your closing costs, or the buyer pays it up front. And
I usually see it on the closing cost side, on the back end.
I've seen it probably 50-50. I think I've seen it both ways. On builders, I see it up front. Yeah. And in general resale, I see it on closing costs.
Yeah. Okay. So then there's the appraisal.
Which is, appraisals are all over the board right now. We just had an appraisal for a townhouse that our buyer ended up paying $700 and something for. We had an appraisal for a single family home that I think they paid $300 for. Yeah. So it really depends on the appraiser and your lender of what it's going to cost. But I would say generally you need a budget for an average home in our area between $450 to $1,000, and just kind of have that in mind. I don't think it would get to $1,000, but also
you never know.
Yeah. The economy is crazy.
And so an appraisal, that is basically saying to the bank, yes, you are justified for giving this person a loan for this amount because the house is worth it, essentially.
Right. And so if it doesn't appraise, there are a couple of ways that you can go back, to the seller. It kind of reopens negotiations when it doesn't appraise. So
because that is part of the financing contingency period.
Right.
So that's also another part in the purchase and sale agreement where if we fall out of, if we're within our financing contingency and it doesn't appraise, let's say, and we can't come to negotiations, that's another way
to get your binder deposit back. Yes. But you have to be watching those timelines. Yeah. And, your agent, when Megan and I go on a contract on something, we have an email that we send out, and it has your property address. It has all of your important dates, a copy of your contract, any important addendums that go with it. And we make sure that we stay on top of those dates. Those dates are input into our calendar, and we have our assistants that watch our calendar to make sure that we are staying on top of dates for our customers. But if you miss one of those deadlines, you risk your binder deposit not being returned to you.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Let's say you get an inspection and you get wood rot. You are 1 day late on your timeline. You need to go to that seller and you need to beg that seller to be understanding.
Yeah.
And please, hey, look, we didn't get this in time. We didn't realize the seriousness of it. Can't get insurance, we're going to have to back out. But otherwise, the seller can retain your binder deposit. So timelines are everything.
Yeah, and that includes your lenders as well. They need to stay on top of their timelines.
Absolutely.
You have to stay on top of them. I mean, yeah, it can be a disaster, really.
Yeah. And lenders, like we work with some really, really great lenders, and we have also worked with some really not so great lenders, which make us recognize the great lenders when we have them. I've even had it where they don't care about the timeline. No. And I'm like, the contingency is up tomorrow.
Yeah.
I've had it where it's the 9th hour and like, oh, we're good. We're good. I mean, we
just dealt with something
we
like
just
that.
dealt with something like that where, oh, we're good. We're good. And then day of closing, oh, actually, no, like we're not good.
Yeah.
So it really makes you appreciate the great ones.
Yes, it really does.
Yeah.
We have some pretty awesome lenders.
But deadlines are everything in a contract.
Okay, so we've gone through appraisal. We are now moving on. And I guess it's closing costs that's next, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So closing costs tend to be 2 to 5% of the purchase price.
Right.
So, if you are buying a home, you always have to keep that in the back of your mind. So you've already paid your earnest money deposit. You already have a down payment that you are working with your lender on. So that can be anywhere between 3 and 20%, right? So that's also something else to consider. And that is all very specific to an individual, to a lender, and to what the interest rates are right now.
Right.
Your credit score matters.
DTI, which is your debt to income ratio. All of that is taken into account for your approval.
Yes. So now we have closing costs and we have your down payment at the end, which is the biggest, the biggest thing you're gonna spend your money on.
Right. So unless you're VA and you get 0 down, in which case, thank you for your service.
Yes, absolutely.
You deserve the 0 down.
Yeah, for sure. So that's where we're at right now. So you have to be thinking about all these things. 1, the binder deposit. 2, your down payment. 3, your inspections. 4, let's also say if you have a pool, you might want a pool inspection.
Oh, yeah. There are various inspections, well inspections, septic inspections. We really just covered general home inspections.
Yeah.
VA, WDO inspection.
Yeah, that's for wood rot. Yeah.
And that you have to have that in Florida. You have to have a WDO inspection, a clear WDO in order to get financing.
Right. So then we have your appraisal. And then we have closing costs. So that deals with everything on title, taxes, lien searches, all the meat and potatoes there. Yeah. So, it doesn't cost nothing to buy a house. It's not as easy, I think, as everyone thinks it is. Right. It does take a lot of creativity. It takes a lot of saving. It takes a lot of, making sure your puzzle pieces are in place. It's not out of reach for everyone, but it's also like, it's expensive. Like, let's get real. Yeah. It costs money to buy a house.
And it's the largest purchase you're ever going to make in your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have to be prepared for that. And that's up to your agent also to make sure that they are telling you, like, be prepared. We just had to have a conversation, where it's like, all right, you have to sell this house in order to purchase the next. But right now where the market's at, you're not going to get what you need as far as walk away with to go purchase a house.
Right.
Within this certain price range. So it sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's, that's definitely such a tough conversation to have right now.
Yeah.
Our market is definitely, it's just a tough market right now. And I know it can be really disheartening to our sellers, but it is it puts buyers in a really great position.
Yeah.
To be able to negotiate. But I mean, it's not that all of the houses are sitting on the market. I mean,
no, it's all about pricing, in my opinion. So if you're able to price aggressively, I mean, do it.
Do it. I mean, because we've had conversations where we will suggest a price and our sellers want to go a little bit higher. And they'll come back and say, okay, well, we're ready to reduce it to where you want to go to. But by the time they get back to us where they reduce it to our original price, we have to go lower than that because the market has shifted again.
Yes.
And I mean, that's such a tough conversation.
Yeah.
You almost need to go below where you think you should be, like right below market value, because when we're pulling comps for you, that market value could be 3 months old.
Right. Absolutely.
Because we have to look at your comps and we're usually only going 3 months back. But right now within this market, it's a tough market and And if you have the time and you want to wait and you want to try to find that buyer, that, hey, that's on you.
But let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Because what ends up happening is that buyer, they see that it's been sitting on the market for so long, and then they're like, I'm going to go even lower.
What's wrong with it?
Yeah, what's wrong with
I
it?
have more power now that I've seen it on the market longer. They must be desperate.
Absolutely.
Or you price it right below your market value or like a little bit below your market value, and you can potentially get multiple offers still.
Yes.
There are buyers looking right now. We have, we have buyers out there looking for homes right now.
We are in a multiple offer situation right now with one of our buyers, and we put an escalation clause in there. We're trying to protect them the best we can. But this agent, she priced that house right. Let me tell you what, she did it right because she's getting a lot of interest and she's getting a lot of showings and now multiple offers right off the break. Good for them.
Yeah, good for them. They did it right. That's the strategy you need to take right now.
Yes. She told me it took probably 6 months to get them on board and get the house prepped and get everything moving in that direction. She said it took a lot of conversations, but they finally got on board. And now, watch, they might get over asking price. They won't have to give as many concessions because it's created that urgency right off the break.
That buzz of like, oh my gosh, this is a great house. We need to move on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not for the pricing high to get what you want type thing.
Right. It's not working.
It doesn't work anymore. And I think sellers really hope that it will still work, and it doesn't.
Right.
So you got to price appropriately. You got to price aggressively right off the break.
And we will tell you that until we're blue in the face.
Yes. Does everyone listen? No.
But
we
hardly.
try.
I was like, hardly do they listen.
But the market's changing, and they're going to have to now. Right? Like they're going to have to. It's inevitable.
Right. There are specialty circumstances. We have a listing coming up that is a historic property. It's beautiful. It's in downtown St. Augustine. That one, there's nothing else like it. Like we're gonna have to get a private appraisal for it, but that one is gonna take the right buyer. So there are special circumstances, but I don't see that one lasting long with it being priced appropriately even.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I would agree. I think that's a very specific buyer.
It is a very specific buyer. I love that house.
It is. And also in luxury, they're not seen as big of a hit.
No,
they're
not at all. Well, no, because they're not as, the people that are getting hit the hardest are the middle class.
Right. The ultra wealthy are not feeling this.
No, they don't care about interest rates. And I would say 80% of the time it's a cash deal anyways.
Yeah. And then also they have some creative financing that they have more money that they can work with.
Yes.
So it just,
they can, they can borrow against assets. There are definitely different things we will get a lender on here. Yeah. And we will talk more about creative financing and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, the ultra wealthy is not feeling the hit the way that middle class people are.
Right. So, and I think moving in from that, we're talking resale in a lot of this, but where we are seeing a big boom right now is new construction.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I think that's been the majority of our closings lately have been new construction.
And we're going to go out on showings later this week for new construction again as well.
Yeah.
But it's our buyers are in a position where, like we talked about earlier, if you don't have the 2 to 5% to put down for closing costs on top of your down payment, your 3.5%, 5%, 10%, 20% down payment that you're going to be putting down, whatever loan type and product that you're going to use. Resale, you can still, negotiate in to have your closing costs covered. But builders are one-upping any resale right now, or majority of resales. And this is most builders, or general rule of thumb for builders. I'm not going to say all builders. I've definitely had it where builders don't do these things. But the larger builders in our area, at least, are covering your closing costs or a large portion of it.
Yeah.
They are buying down your interest rate because they pre-buy to buy down these interest rates.
Right.
So they pre-lock in these interest rates. They pay a money to make sure that these interest rates are locked. And then you just have to put your money down and pay for your inspection should you want an inspection.
Yeah.
An inspection.
We highly suggest it.
We highly suggest getting an inspection on new construction, on resale,
Yeah, no matter what it is.
No matter what it is.
Human error is human error. Yeah. That's what it is.
And then on new construction, if you decide, it's new, I don't want to get an inspection right off the rip, which you should. But if you don't, do it at month 10. Builders have a 1 year, almost like a bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
Right? Like warranty that you get. So you would put everything out for that 1 year. So do it at 10 months and then submit your 1 year warranty at the 11-month mark to make sure that all of your warranty items get done. And even if you do get an inspection done at the beginning, still do that 10-month inspection. Like spend the money because like it will be money well spent.
Oh yeah, I did that. For sure. I bought new construction, got the inspection in the beginning, put it on my calendar to schedule one for 10 months in. I did it. And then I went ahead and submitted anything that was wrong. They had to come out and fix it.
Yeah. Did the same thing.
Yeah, it's great. Also remember to register all your appliances.
Register your appliances and your AC and your water heater. I think people just like hear appliances and they think automatically, fridge, washing machine, or washer, dryer, washing machine if it comes, and your dishwasher. And I've had it where like people have forgotten to register their AC units. And I'm like, we have gone over closing costs, builders.
Yes.
Yeah.
So also some things that you can get with new construction is blinds, garage door openers.
Yes.
Appliances, washer, dryer, fridges. And we're saying you can negotiate that sometimes.
Yeah.
They don't always give that. But let me tell you what, you go ahead and you pay for some blinds for a whole house. Oh, you're going to be like, what was I thinking? Why didn't I ask for it?
Why didn't I ask for blinds?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want blinds, but.
Or I'll put them in later. No, you need your blinds.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not going to do something, don't do a garage door opener. You can go to Home Depot and get one for.
Yeah, you can get someone to install that.
Yeah, that's not crazy. But even then, give what they will take what they will give you.
Take what they will give you.
And ask for everything. The worst they can say is no, and at least you know.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Let me tell you. Okay, so when we bought our house, the blinds were not included. That was something that had to be an upgrade or extra. You had to pay a little extra for or whatever at the time. My husband is one of those people that will sit on the phone. He will argue and argue till he gets what he wants, basically. I mean, he will argue till he's blue in the face, and bless his heart, like somehow it always works out for us. But I'm like, I don't like to be on the receiving end of that. So
that's probably why it works out, because I feel like a lot of people don't want to be on the receiving end.
Yes, exactly. They're just like, fine, give him what he wants. And that is what happened with our blinds. I don't know what they messed up. If he was here, he'd be able to tell us. He would remember it. But there was something, and he somehow negotiated those blinds in, and he's not a real estate agent. He just went after them so hard and was like, no, I want these blinds. We got the blinds put in. We got the garage door openers. And I'm really thankful for that because the blinds are expensive. So
yeah,
it worked out.
Yeah, we purchased our house in 2018. And so it was like before the market, honestly, it was more of a seller's market when we purchased, it was a little more of a buyer's market when we purchased. And so our house was a spec house and had been on the market for, I don't know, like 3 months or something. And it was great. I loved it. Like, I love my house. I really do.
Yeah.
But we got a fridge, washer, dryer, blinds. We got to change, they changed our pantry door out to be like a glass front pantry door. They painted the interior of a garage, which in Florida, interior garages are not painted by your builder. Generally, they're not. Not at least by this builder, they're not. And by quite a few of them, they're not.
Yeah.
And so they painted the inside of our garage. I had gone and gotten like fans and light fixtures. And because they was just like either dome lights or just capped that they were pre-wired.
Yeah.
And so went and picked them up, and the builder was like, oh, just kind of bring them over here and put them in the rooms that you want, and we'll install them for you.
Yes, please.
Yes,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Went immediately and went and got all the lights and fans and went and had them installed by the builder because what? Yeah. And then we were the last yard in Northeast Florida to get our yard fenced in by this builder.
By a builder.
Yeah. And because they will not put fences in anymore. But yeah, we got everything and then some. We built ours. But we built ours, I mean, or we purchased ours quite a few years before you purchased yours. So the market was completely different.
Yeah, it was definitely not a buyer's market when we bought. That's for sure.
It was
and
not.
And we still got a lot of incentives. So that just goes to show you they have a lot of wiggle room.
Yeah. Yeah, we had closing costs. We had all our closing costs paid and everything. And then I think I got like 8% commission on my own house.
Yeah, that's actually why I bought the house.
That's why I bought the house. I did too.
So in my neighborhood, there's a house that I call the Big Daddy. And
Megan really wanted
the Big Daddy house because we have 4 kids and it was 2 stories. It made sense. I was just like, that's the house that I want. And I had sold it to a friend of mine in that same exact neighborhood. And I was like, I want this house. So we're going around looking at the houses. And Cody was like, you get 5% commission, I think it was, or something like that, 5% commission on this house, like the one we actually bought. Mm-hmm. Or you get 3 on the other. And he was like doing the math for me. And it was like, we actually got paid to buy our house at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yeah, we're buying this house. Like, it's perfect. It works for us. Like, it's beautiful. It's a corner lot, all the things. And I was so sad. I was like, oh my gosh.
Which I find that so funny because I love your floor plan and your floor plan wasn't even like in production when I purchased. And it was the next model home in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then I went and walked in it. And this was like not even a year after I closed. Mm-hmm. And I went and walked and I was like, oh, I really want this floor plan. And then I went into your house and you were like complaining about your floor plan. And I was like,
no, I do love my floor plan. I feel like if we had like 2 less kids, it would be like perfect.
Fair. I do have 2 less kids than you.
Yes. Like we would have a whole wing of the house that would be like a mother-in-law suite, a true mother-in-law suite.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have that because we just got too many damn kids. But,
they're all just running around.
Yeah. Yeah, it works for us. And we've also made it so our backyard is like an extended living space. So,
oh my gosh, their backyard is beautiful.
Yeah, shout out to Green Earth Landscaping.
Shout out to Green Earth Landscaping.
Yep, they're the best.
They are the best. So what else are we going into? Megan has the notes in front of her.
Yeah, I do.
We have to have like a little some to keep us on track because we will just
we'll just talk
we just be talking.
Yeah. Oh, expectations as far as your agents preparing you on the buying side and on the selling side.
Yeah.
We're talking about buyers and affordability today. So let's talk on the buyer side and preparing our buyers.
I think just having the upfront conversation. I know that I was recently talking to one of our buyers and they had never purchased a home before. They've been renters for years. And she was like, yeah, we have the money saved to put down on a home. And I was like, okay, have you taken into account closing costs? And these are like very educated, and she was like, no, we're going to need to go new construction. Like she already knew right off the rip, like what they were going to need to do. Mm-hmm. But, I was like, because I knew what kind of house they're going to be wanting and it wasn't new construction, like for the size of land that I, had generally known that they were going to want. I was like, we just need to have the upfront conversation of you are going to have another, 2 to 5% put out for closing costs. And if you need to buy your interest rate down and the inspection and the appraisal and all of these things. And I think just setting your buyer up for success and giving them the knowledge that you have, like you cannot withhold information from your customer and expect them to have a successful transaction.
Right. I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
and you can't get mad at them for things that they don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
no, absolutely.
I've had agents come to me and they're like, oh my, I can't believe my buyer didn't know this. I'm like, how can you not believe that your buyer didn't know this? You do this every day. Like, this is how you make your living.
Yeah.
But you can't.
You should know this.
Right.
You should know to tell them by now.
Right. You can't get mad at somebody for them not having the knowledge. That's why they hire a professional to help guide them through this process.
Yes, which is why also I was just thinking about the difference between a pre-qualification and a pre-approval letter. So your pre-qualification, that is a very generalized, like, here you go, this is what you can afford.
Based on a conversation.
Based
generally.
on a conversation, not on a hard credit pull, nothing. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I can go and tell someone that I make $50 million a year.
Yeah.
And my credit is a
perfection.
a 9,000. Never a blemish. Never a blemish.
Ever. Yeah.
And they can give me a pre-qual letter. Yeah. Just based on my
I could say I'm
my
a million.
word.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like that is, to me, it's completely pointless.
Yeah. As when we're listing agents, we don't even consider pre-quals. And even as buyer's agents, we don't consider pre-quals. No. We need a pre-approval. We want to make sure that your income verified.
Yeah.
Your employment verified. Mm-hmm. Your assets verified. Credit verified. Mm-hmm. We want to make sure that everything has been verified before we go and take you looking at houses, because there's nothing worse than trying on clothes that you really, really love and then you
can't afford it.
You can't afford it.
Yeah.
You don't go in to a wedding dress shop with $300 and try on a $3,000 dress and think, I'll make it work. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. And I think it's also just good for buyers because then they really know what they can afford, right? We don't know. Interest rates change. Right. Something on their credit might pop up, income, whatever it may be. So also, for the record, we don't want to know these things.
Yeah, we don't. We just want to know that, you've spoken to the proper person.
Yeah.
And we don't want to know what's in your bank account. We do not. We want to know that you have the amount of money that you need.
Yeah.
We don't want to know your credit score. We do not want to see your bank statements.
No.
I
prefer not to know. Yeah. I prefer that to all go to the lender, a preferred lender that I know and trust, and then them tell us, all right, here's what they qualify for. Go ahead forward.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Right.
And I say that in a sense of, I think people who are friends, they might be uncomfortable working with us because they think we're going to be all up in their financial business. And I just want to assure people that's not really the case.
Even if we do get involved or need to be involved in that sense, we've had plenty of overseas customers where we've kind of need to be the go-between for our lender and our customer. Mm-hmm. We work in complete confidentiality.
Yeah.
Nothing that you ever tell us will ever go outside of our deal and our, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not in me to talk about somebody else.
Also, what we know is just what's necessary for the deal. It's not
right
all up in your business.
Right. No, I don't need to know what you had for breakfast this morning.
No, absolutely not. No. I also don't need to know how much you spent on childcare last year. I don't need to know that.
Yeah. I don't need to know about your new league subscriptions. So.
Yes. Yeah. Let's keep that there. And not be that.
If you guys have anything that you want to hear for the next one, but we have a lot of special guests coming up that we are super, super excited.
Yes, we
to
have
talk
them
to everyone
all
about.
Lined up through January.
Yeah.
All the way through January. So we'll have
y'all don't just have to stare at our mugs.
Yeah, you get to see other people. So we have our broker who's going to come on in January.
We have a phenomenal stager that will be coming on and talking about the importance of staging.
Next week we have
a lender.
We have a lender who works a lot with first responders and VA loans. It's going to be for our Veterans Day podcast. Yeah. So he's going to be super valuable.
We're super, super excited for it.
Yeah, that'll be great. We'll have a few other lenders on here, inspectors,
appraisers. Yeah, it'll be really good
stuff. So you guys feel free to message us, or you can just comment. Let us know what you want to hear about, because we are definitely open. We aim to please.
And definitely watch our stories. We're going to be posting random questions that we would love to hear responses to, so we can start doing some more nitty gritty things.
Interactive stuff.
Yeah, a little more interactive stuff on here, because I posted a story about the horror stories of buying homes, and some of them I'm like, oh no. One girl almost signed for a house that was not the right house number. It was flipped numbers, so she almost literally bought the complete wrong house.
not with title, but yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah. So anyways, watch the stories. Please respond to them. We would love to be, interactive with you guys and a little more personable.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. See you next time. Catch you on the flip side.
Bye, guys.
Bye.